Welcome back, eSIM Studios Podcast live stream, episode number 193. I want to welcome everybody joining us wherever you may be on this holiday weekend. Today is Sunday, September 1st, 2024. I got some interesting news. Well, I guess, take that back. I do have some interesting news. Also have some exciting details if you are a fan, maybe a novice photographer, maybe a professional photographer. I've been doing a lot of testing here with a bunch of these cameras that I have with these flagship Android phones and some budget Android phones. As we know, the new iPhone 16 series is going to launch here in just about over a week. And we have some exciting details on the camera system for the iPhone 16 Pro and or Pro Max. We have some news that may leave some Samsung fans disgruntled if you perhaps upgraded to the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 6. And then we also have another Samsung story that entails a new phone in quantum physics. Yes, quantum technology. If you confuse that with if you can fuse quantum technology and a phone, Samsung's got it for you. Pardon me as my allergies are acting up today. Let's see here. If you miss this podcast, so we're gonna go through a little bit of changes, not a lot, but a little bit. So you may see the wording changed up a little bit on some titles. I'm gonna do the eSIM Studios podcast for audio only. So the eSIM Studios podcast will remain eSIM Studios podcast, but I'm going to title that for the audio-only version. And I think I am going to title the YouTube daily live stream. I think I'm going to give that a different name, so it'll get more into the algorithm. eSIM Studios podcast. YouTube has a hard time figuring out where to put that in the algorithm, so I'm going to name the video version, the YouTube version, a different name, but the eSIM Studios podcast will remain for the audio-only version. Speaking of that, you can find the eSIM Studios podcast on any platform you get your podcasts at, whether it be Amazon Music, whether it be YouTube Music, whether it be iTunes, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio app. God, there's so many that we're on. Samsung podcasts we're on. So again, the eSIM Studios podcast will remain that title, but that will be for the audio-only version. And then we're going to give a new name to the video YouTube version of the Daily Tech News, whatever. I got a few names in mind, but we will get to that. So you may see a name change here or there this week, but have no fear. If you want the Daily Tech News, we will be here. So let's get into... I wanted to get into this new Apple iPhone 16, right? And let me pull up an article here. Cool new website. Where are we? Let me share the screen here. Let's see. Here we go. On Just Tech, there is a news article. Just Tech. A news article on the 5 reasons every photographer should want to upgrade to the iPhone 16 Pro. And as I mentioned in the beginning, in the intro, if you're a novice photographer, if you're a professional photographer, or you just enjoy snapping some photos every now and then, this new iPhone 16 Pro might just be the device that you were looking for, right? And I'll put a link for this in the a link to this article in the video description or in the audio description, wherever you're listening or watching this. There should be a link to this article, right? So, as a photographer, I can understand the excitement around upgrading to a new smartphone, especially when it promises significant improvements in camera technology. The iPhone 16 Pro is generating quite a lot of buzz, and it's interesting to explore the reasons why photographers might consider making the switch and or upgrading to this iPhone 16 Pro. Now, let's dive into the top 5 reasons photographers might be interested in this new upcoming Apple device. So, this new iPhone 16 Pro is going to have Apple's best ever ultra wide camera. So this looks like it's going to stack up to quite an ultra wide sensor here. So according to tech analyst Jeff Poo, the iPhone 16 Pro models are expected to feature a new 48 megapixel ultra wide camera sensor. If this rumor is true, it could be a game changer for photography enthusiasts. So a high resolution ultra wide lens opens up the creativity possibilities for capturing expansive landscapes, architecture, and unique perspectives. Now, not only is Apple going to encompass a new 48 megapixel ultra wide sensor in this new iPhone 16 Pro, they're also going to include a seasoned 5x telephoto camera. So the iPhone 16 Pro is rumored to inherit the 5x telephoto camera from the 15 Pro Max. Telephoto lenses are essential for portrait photography, wildlife shots, and any situation where you need to zoom in without compromising image quality. Having a mature and reliable telephoto option is a significant advantage. Now, again, as I mentioned yesterday, it's not a bummer that these companies carry over these camera sensors. In fact, you can make an argument that it's actually better that way. So, of course, you want to include new tech, new sensors that come along. But let me give you a reason why it's not bad news that you hear companies like Apple, companies like Samsung, companies like Google with the Pixel carrying over a sensor from the previous year or previous model. That's because the developers for each respected company and or manufacturer, they know how to fine-tune these sensors, right? So whenever you get the downside of adding a new sensor or a new camera to a new phone model is that these developers for these companies might not know how to tweak each sensor just right for each situation. That's why carrying over a sensor is not such a bad thing. So when you hear that, don't get bummed out. That it means that Apple is very happy with this sensor. They know exactly how it's going to perform in each situation. This 5x telephoto camera has performed phenomenally for the iPhone 15 Pro Max. In fact, if you do some research and watch some reviews on YouTube, a lot of the content creators that do video comparisons on cameras say that this iPhone 15 Pro Max 5x telephoto sensor is amazing. So having it carried over this year will be put on the 16 Pro, and it'll obviously be on the Pro Max, but last year it was only on the iPhone 15 Pro Max. This year they're going to put it on the 16 Pro and 16 Pro Max. So Apple users can rejoice. Those of y'all that wanted a small flagship but wanted all of the very same camera features that the premium flagship, bigger flagship offers can rejoice. So this iPhone 16 Pro is also going to include it's going to have a rumored capture button, independent capture button, sort of like on old school digital cameras. So it should include almost like the action button, but it's going to be dedicated for taking photos, right? So you don't have to sit there and how many times have you got something just right where you're not moving your hands at all, and then you take your hand off to touch the screen, and then in the motion of taking your hand off and touching the screen, just in that split second, the camera moves slightly. That happened to me, what was it? Not yesterday, but the day before, Friday. It happened to me Friday. Took me like 3 or 4 shots just to get a perfect shot. So this new rumored capture button will be on the side. So you can hold it, get steady, and without even moving a hand, you can just boop, touch it like that, just like a digital camera, and get a picture perfect frame. So the addition of the dedicated capture button would enhance the overall photography experience, as I just explained. Quick access to snapping photos without navigating through menus or using the touchscreen can be a real time saver. As a photographer, having a physical button matters. It certainly does. Now, number 4 out of the top 5 reasons photographers are going to love this iPhone 16 Pro. AI photography, but it's basically going to future-proof the device. So if you don't upgrade a lot, but you do want to upgrade every so often, now might be the time. This new iPhone 16 Pro and Pro Max, well, all of the models are going to get AI functionality, right? So the CPU can definitely handle, even the 15 series, the CPU can handle these AI functionalities. The issue was RAM. The base 15 and 15 Plus simply just didn't have enough RAM. This year, the base 16 and the 16 Plus are going to have added RAM, so it can encompass the AI functionalities that only the 15 Pro and 15 Pro Max had this past year. So the whole lineup will have AI functionalities, and that's why you might want to upgrade this year to a 16 Pro or Pro Max or any of the 16s, but in particular the 16 Pro, because you're basically going to future-proof yourself. So again, as I mentioned, if you don't upgrade that often, and you're not looking to upgrade for the next 2 or 3 years, you're going to want to upgrade right now, if you're an iPhone user. And that's because this will include all the AI features that they put in the iPhone 16 Pro this year. And then looking into the future, moving into the iPhone 17 series, iPhone 18 series, all of those AI functionalities that they introduce in the future on the 17 series and the 18 series, your 16 Pro should be able to get all of those functionalities. So Samsung does that. They'll introduce something brand new on a S24 Ultra. And then in a future update for the older models like the S23 Ultra, you basically get all the S24 features that they showed you at launch time. You'll get in a update down the road. So same principle, same deal with these iPhones. You will have a capable device that will be able to handle all the AI functionalities. So right now might be the time for you to future-proof yourself if you're not interested in upgrading to a 17 after this and then an 18, right? Most people don't. I believe the average upgrade time is 2.3 years, if I'm not mistaken. So basically between 2 and 3 years, 2.5 years, you'll upgrade, which is about, as I mentioned, average. And that falls in line with the carrier plans, right? Because depending on where you go, some have you finance the device over 24 months, which is 2 years, or 36 months, which is 3 years. So somewhere in that 2 to 3 year range. And this would certainly have you covered. This iPhone 16 Pro will have you covered for the next 2 to 3 years to be able to handle anything and everything, right? Especially when it comes to the photo AI features. Now, last but not least, this is a very, very cool addition to the iPhone 16 Pro series this year. A new camera lens coating. While details aren't all that out there online, right? Details are scarce on this new camera lens coating. Rumors do suggest that the iPhone 16 Pro might introduce a new camera lens coating. Lens coatings can improve light transmissions, reduce reflections, and enhance overall image quality. Any advancements in lens technology are exciting for photographers. So I believe they implemented something of the sort. I'm speaking of Apple with this 15 series. They included something in the manufacturing of the glass that covers these sensors. So the glass that covers each camera on the back of your phone. Apple included some kind of reflection reducing material. So if you're at night or in a dim lit area, but there is a light source, if you take a picture, it reduces glare from that light source. Now, this year on the iPhone 16 Pro, they're supposed to implement that material even more to make it more of an impact for you, to reduce that glare even more so. I know there were I watched some reviews on the 15 Pro or Pro Max a while back, and I remember a few of the reviewers saying it was really hit and miss. Sometimes it would work great. Sometimes the glare would still be there. Sometimes they said it didn't even work at all, as far as there was a pretty significant glare in your nighttime photo. So when you take a photo in a dimly lit area and or at night, and then you go back and review the photo, you see that there's a certain glare in that still photo, or even in video. This year, Apple is supposed to intensify that and make it more effective at reducing glares. So remember, these reasons are based on speculation, although we do have some pretty solid evidence and/or reports that all these are probably going to be true. We will have to wait for the initial announcement to confirm the iPhone 16 Pro's features. But me, as a photographer, it's definitely worth keeping an eye out for what Apple has got in store. And remember, September 9th, believe it's at 10 a.m., we're going to live stream, not the Apple event, because I'm sure we'll get flagged for copyright strike, but we will stream, I think, immediately after it's done. I'm not sure. I have a whole bunch of Apple subscribers, but whether you're an Apple fan or you're not an Apple fan, it is a big event, and we will discuss the new features. There's always features that we didn't even think of, right? So there's a bunch of rumors on a bunch of different features, a bunch of different hardware upgrades, but it seems like every single year there's always a handful of features that there were no leaks of, right? That are brand new to us, that we're like, whoa, that's crazy. And it's going to be AI heavy. So just beware. You've been warned. I know some of these launches can drive you crazy with all the AI talk. I'm even tired of it, really, quite frankly. But it is what it is. No way getting around it. So join us on September 9th. I'll put a live stream. I'll schedule it before, maybe the day before or something like that, just so you know. Now, make sure you subscribe to the eSIM Studios YouTube channel so you will get notified whenever we do go live after the event. And we'll discuss it, right? So we'll discuss, do you think this is suitable to beat Android's best flagship phones? Do you think they size up well with the Samsung Galaxy devices? Do you think it matches up well with what Pixel has to offer, right? And then we'll go from there. So I'm expecting we are going to pick up an iPhone 16 Pro, do a bunch of testing. It's been a while. Well, I do own some iPhones, but this year I'm going to really crank the content out. So we're going to test cameras against my flagship Androids. We're going to test video against these flagship Androids. We're going to run battery tests, drain tests, charging tests, display test, any test you can think of, we're going to do. So stay tuned for that. It should be a lot of fun, actually. I cannot wait. And obviously have a bunch of case reviews. I've been in contact with all my case manufacturers that we are in partnership with, and we're already getting orders ready. So in fact, I have one company already shipping theirs out. So stay tuned to the channel. We have plenty of iPhone coverage. And look, again, I know I have more Android subscribers and followers than iPhone, but nonetheless, it is a big event in the tech world, so I'm not just going to ignore it, right? Got to cover this stuff, so But all will obviously include Android and everything as well. So you won't be all iPhone related, but whenever we get close to these launches, we're always going to talk about these phones, right? So leading up to the Pixel launch, it was like Pixel stuff basically all week. Leading up to the Samsung launch, it was all Samsung all week. And so it is what it is. It is an exciting time, even if you're not an iPhone user, but just to see what Apple has to offer to the world and see how it sizes up with these different Android manufacturers. So I do appreciate the time. I think, you know what? Hang on one second. Hang on. There was, let me pull, where was it? Let me pay off this tease here. Yeah, I got Minisform shipped a mini PC, and I think that's ready to pick up. So I'm gonna have to get out of here and go grab this mini PC so I can do a review, set it up for tomorrow. But check this out real quick. Samsung's got a new phone. Yes. Check this thing out. So Samsung has this new phone. Samsung unveils the Galaxy Quantum5, a quantum-powered secure smartphone. Check this out. Secured by Samsung Knox. So what the hell is this quantum phone everybody's talking about? So let's start by saying the Galaxy Quantum5 was developed in collaboration with SK Telecom, and it's exclusive to SK Telecom. So if you're interested in getting this, probably not a smart idea, probably because it'll only work on the South Korean telecom network. So unless you live in South Korea, no sense in really picking this up. Unless you really, really want to, you can use it here on Wi-Fi, but doesn't really make sense, right? But just interesting to see what this is, right? So the other partnership that was made possible is with quantique. That's the company that provides the quantum cryptographic chip. The chip is a so-called quantum random number generator, a QRNG, which uses quantum physics to generate truly random numbers to be used in the encryption and decryption process of sensitive data like biometrics and passwords. Using truly random numbers from an independent chip limits the possibility of outside influence and tampering that more traditional random numbers generate methods are susceptible to. Other than the additional QRNG chip, the quantum random number generator chip, the Quantum5 is basically a Samsung Galaxy A55 with a custom chip. It sports IP67 waterproof, 6.6-inch AMOLED 120 Hz display, stereo speakers, a 50 megapixel main sensor, 12 megapixel ultra wide, 5 megapixel macro. There's also an Exynos 1480 running the show with 8 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of expandable storage, and a 5,000 milliamp per hour battery, 25 watt fast charging. As they mentioned, basically a A55. It has this similar design with a couple of edits in here on the design front. As you can see, the side rails look a little different, but other than that, it's basically an A55. Now, the price is going to be retail price, translated to US dollars, is $465 US. Again, if you really, really wanted one or want one, my best bet is to get it on eBay. Now, you're not going to be paying $465. You're probably going to be paying $565, possibly $600. because whoever in South Korea will buy some of these devices and then throw them on eBay and upsell them so they can make a profit. But I would expect to see them maybe paying about $600. So, but I believe this is probably the future of secure smartphones, right? I think this new quantum random number generator, this special CPU, this special chip inside the CPU, I think will be implemented across the board. Maybe not Apple, but definitely Android, or Apple may come up with a something similar in the future. Now, I'm talking maybe 5 years in the future. I'm not talking about next year, the year after. We're probably a good 3, 4, 5, 6 years away from every smartphone having this quantum random number generator essentially baked inside the CPU, because how it generates and encrypts your information by generating a random number is almost unhackable. I say almost because almost everything is, but that would provide the most secure usability of any phone or of any electronic device that you can think of. So just wanted to bring this to your attention and let you know that the future of mobile security is already underway. So keep an eye on that. The Samsung Galaxy Quantum5. And that'll do it for today's podcast. My name is Taylor Bell. This is eSIM Studios Podcast episode number 193. Join us tomorrow. Try to do it around 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm doing them way too late, so I'm going to try to get this done right around 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, but I'll schedule it probably later tonight or in the morning, and we will discuss the day's headline news, technology headline news. So hope everybody has a safe and enjoyable Sunday afternoon, and we will see you on Monday, holiday Monday tomorrow. No days off for us. Peace out.